Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. We'll get our Bible and then we can read. Can you join us if you want? Oh boy. Can we not do that tonight? Can we wait until like after I kiss you goodnight? There we go. Alright, there we go. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good coffee. Good girl. Alright, so you guys ready? Not eye boogie. Not eye boogie. Alright. Don't eat this. Okay, that's our bookmark. Alright, let's start. There we go. Where you going? Freaking cheetah. Alright, ready? You want to pay attention? Okay. In the beginning, there was darkness. Darkness and silence. God created heaven and earth. His spirit moved through the darkness and across the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. How beautiful the light was. And God divided the light from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. That was the first day. Second day, God made the sky. In the sky, he placed clouds to hold the moisture, and the sky was called heaven. Third day, then God gathered together the waters under the sky. He called these seas, and he named the dry land earth. On the land he made grass and flowers on trees, and in each was a seed to replenish itself. The fruitful earth was to become a place of beauty. And your Thomas. Fourth day. To light the earth, God made the sun to shine by day and the moon to shine by night. The days, the years, and the seasons were also set by God. Then he made the stars and placed them in the heavens. Fifth day. God looked upon the land and seas and said, "Let the waters bring forth life." And the seas and rivers became alive with whales and fish. Let there be birds, and the open sky above the earth was filled with winged creatures. Be fruitful and multiply, God said, as he blessed the living creatures of the sea and sky. Sixth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures, and animals of all kinds filled the earth. So the waters, the sky, and the earth were filled with life. To have dominion over all these things, God created the first man, Adam, and the first woman, Eve. They were the greatest of all God's creations, for he gave them a mind to choose between good and evil, and a soul that would live forever. And on the seventh day, God rested. God took Adam and Eve to the Garden of Eden and showed them the beauty and fruitfulness of it. And God commanded, "Of every tree thou mayest eat freely, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou mayest not eat. For in the day that thou eatest of it, thou shalt surely die." Amen. And temptation in the garden, Genesis 3. "Look, Adam, how the little bird comes when I call." God is good to us, Eve. He has given us everything. Everything but the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Yes, that is forbidden. But Eve wonders, and one day she goes alone to the tree as she gazes at the forbidden fruit. Satan, in the form of a serpent, tempts her, saying, "Fruit from the tree of knowledge will make you wise. The Lord has forbidden it, but if this fruit will make me wise, surely there's no harm in taking just one bite. It tastes delicious. Adam, Adam, taste it. One bite will do no harm. See, I have eaten some. It is good." But Adam and Eve know they have disobeyed God. Then they hear his voice calling them. And Eve says, "I'm afraid." And he says, "Quick, let's hide." In the stillness of the garden, they hear God ask, "Have you eaten the fruit that I told you not to eat?" Boy, right away, Eve gave me some fruit, and I ate it. The serpent tempted me. Because you disobeyed me, God said, you must leave this beautiful garden and work for your living. Look, a flaming sword guards the entrance. We can never go back. Where can we go? What can we do? Jealous brothers. Genesis 4. Outside the Garden of Eden, the land is barren, hot and dry. Weary, alone, and frightened, Adam and Eve search until they find a place to make a home. Remember how beautiful Eden was? If only we had obeyed God. We must make certain that we teach our children so that they don't make the same mistake we did. What are you doing today? So Adam teaches their sons, Cain and Abel, about God. He made the earth and everything we have. I'd like to think of God giving me my little lamb. How can I thank him? When you're older, Abel, you can give God the best of your flock. He told us we should make sacrifices to show our thankfulness. As the boys grow to manhood, Abel plans for the day when he can give his thank offering to God. But Cain thinks only of his crops. Abel gives God a sacrifice. I'll have to offer one too. God is pleased with Abel's gift, but the grudging spirit of Cain displeases God. Why should God favor my brother? It isn't fair. I gave God as much as he did. I'll get even. At last, we're alone. This is my chance. No one saw me kill him, but I'm scared. The verdict. In a lonely pasture, Cain killed his brother Abel. Cain is sure nobody saw the murder, but suddenly the killer is afraid. Did someone see him? Who? He looks around, and then he hears the voice of God asking, "Where is Abel, your brother?" I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? God knows I killed Abel. Terrified, Cain hears God's verdict. As punishment for murdering Abel, Cain must leave home and forever be a fugitive. Oh God, please, this punishment is more than I can take. But God's sentence was carried out. Cain fled to the land called Nod. There he married and built the first city, which he named for his son Enoch. Adam and Eve are heartbroken at the loss of their two sons. Our house is so empty and still. Oh, Adam, will we always be alone like this? We brought this tragedy on ourselves, Eve, and so did Cain. But God has been good to us. Let's ask him to help us now. In time, a third son is born to them. We'll call him Seth, and we'll teach him to obey God the way Abel did. Again, Adam and Eve's prayers are answered, for Seth learns to obey God. Two of his descendants are Enoch, who walked with God, and there's a name, Methuselah. What? Say it again. Methuselah? Okay. Who died at the age of 969, the oldest man who ever lived. There's a good fact for you. But as generations pass, people again turn away from God. They lie, cheat, murder. They worship the sun and the moon and the stars and bow down before idols. But there's one man, Noah, who looks upon the sinfulness with fear. How long will God allow this wickedness to continue? You getting your real power on there? When the rains came, from Genesis 6 and 7. Your wickedness cannot continue. Turn away from your idol worship. Return to God who created us and gave us all that we have. Listen to Noah. He thinks he's better than anyone else. What's his goodness done for him? But Noah remains true to God. And one day God speaks to him. The earth is filled with violence. I will destroy man whom I have created. Make thee an ark, for behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth. Noah obeys and sets to work building an ark according to the directions given him by God. Poor Noah. He thinks he can float a boat on dry land. What will he think of next? When the ark is completed, God directs Noah and his family to enter, and to take with them 7 pairs of each kind of animal and bird that is good to eat, and 1 pair of each kind used for not used for food. Now I have seen everything. Old Noah spent 120 years building that ark, but he never thought about who would close the door. Either he's crazy or he knows something we don't. I wonder. Don't you start preaching like Noah. Then, suddenly, one day, lightning flashes, the very windows of heaven open, and the rains pour down. I don't like the look of this. Maybe Noah was right about his ark. Don't worry. There's never been enough water here to float a boat before. Yes, but it never rained like this before. A great flood. Genesis 7, 8, 9, and 11. Look, the great door of Noah's ark is closing. Yes, it's being shut by a great invisible hand. The rains pour down steadily for 40 days and 40 nights. Water flows over the land and rises above the mountaintops. All the earth is covered. Only Noah's great ark survives. The flood destroys all that is evil. At last the water level drops, and the ark rests on the top of the mountains of Ararat. I will send out a dove. If it does not come back, we will know it has found land. But the dove returns. Noah sends out a dove again, and it returns. An olive branch. That means some land must be dry again. 7 days later, Noah sends out a dove a third time. It does not return because it has found a place to nest. So, a little over a year after the flood began, Noah steps on dry land once more. He, his family, and the animals in the ark are the only creatures on earth. How good it is to walk on the ground again. Yes, to feel grass under your feet and warm sunshine on your face. All that was evil has been destroyed. Through us, God is giving mankind a new start. We must obey God and teach all who follow us to do so. As soon as Noah leaves the ark, he builds an altar. Here he thanks God for his care and asks God's guidance in helping Noah and his family to make a new start. Then God makes a promise to Noah and to all his children forever. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease, nor shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. How beautiful! Surely God is good to us. Yes, and whenever men see a rainbow in the sky, they will be reminded of God's promise that never again will a flood destroy the earth. In the years after the flood, Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their families moved down to the river valleys. Their families grow larger. In time, the mountains and plains are dotted with the tents of shepherd tribesmen, and the rich river valleys with growing cities. As the men of the cities work together, they become proud of the things they can build. They even dream of a great tower. We'll build it high enough to reach heaven. It will make us famous and powerful. In my water. The tower that crumbled, from Genesis 11. A tower that will reach to heaven. How beautiful it is. It can be seen for miles. In time of danger, we will rally our forces around it. No one is going to conquer and scatter us. With this tower, we'll be invincible. But God is displeased with the people's desire for fame and power. To stop their work on the tower, He causes the people to speak in different languages. What kind of talk is that? How can I work with a man I can't understand? Because they cannot understand one another. The builders are confused. They stop working on the tower. One by one, the families who speak the same language move away. The giant tower, called Babel, begins to crumble. Some of the families move down the Euphrates River, and there build the great trading city of Ur. Others pitch their tents on the plains beyond. The Bible traces the generations from Noah's son Shem to a tribal chieftain named Terah, who lives outside Ur. One day in Terah's camp, there is great excitement. Everyone is getting ready for a trip to Ur. May we trade our wool for anything we want, Father? Yes, Abraham, but first you must help me load our supplies. Look, green beans and melons. We'll trade some of our supplies for fresh vegetables. Then you, Haran, and Nahar may go into the city. A throw stick for your bag of wool. It's a deal. Imagine throwing a stick that will come back to you. What is that tower? It is a temple to the moon god. Back home, Abraham thinks often about his visit to Ur, and as he grows older, he wonders about the temple of the moon god. One evening, Abraham talks to Sarah, the most beautiful girl in his father's camp. It's only the moon, Sarah, not something to worship. Abraham, be careful. Many people here worship the moon god. They might hear you and do you harm. Would you care, Sarah? Yes, Abraham. Everyone expects you to be the head of our tribe someday. Sarah, I love you and want you to be my wife. But it's only fair that you should know I do not believe in the moon god. There is only one God, the God who made the moon, the stars, the sun, even us. I love you, Abraham, but give me time to think. A few days later, a caravan stops at Terah's camp. May we camp here while we sell our goods in Ur? You are welcome. My son Abraham will show your men where to water your camels. So you come from Canaan? Do the people there worship the moon god Ur? No, they have their own gods called Baals. Baal, the moon god. Everyone has a different god. Abraham, I believe as you do. There is only one God. Do you, Sarah? Then we'll both trust in God, no matter what happens. It is festive day for all of the tribe when Abraham and Sarah are married. During the ceremony, Sarah prays to God, asking for courage to stand by her husband, for they are two against many who believe in other gods. One night, several weeks later, Sarah awakens to find Abraham gone. And that gets us to about 20 minutes. Where are we here? All right, we'll read one more section and then we'll call it quits for tonight. Night attack from Genesis 11. Oh, Abraham, are you all right? I was frightened when I found you gone. Sarah, tonight Father Terah told us we are leaving Ur and moving north. God promised to make a great nation of my people if I will follow him. Maybe this is the way I can lead our people from the worship of false gods. Strange. At one time I would have been afraid to leave Ur, but now I'm eager to go. Next morning, early, Terah directs the work of breaking camp. Lot, now that your father is dead, you will take his place as head of your family. Work with your uncles Abraham and Nahar. At last the great day arrives. Flocks, donkeys laden with supplies, families, all form a great caravan that pushes north along the Euphrates River. I wonder what lies ahead, Abraham. Have no fear, Sarah. God will guide us. After a few days out, Abraham calls a meeting of Nahar and Lot. It will be cooler for the flocks if we rest by day and travel at night. But what about wild animals? We'll have to be on constant guard, Nahar. I agree with Uncle Abraham. But one night, a careless guard lets the flocks scatter and hungry jackals attack. Too many jackals. We can't stop them. We can, we will. Pray for courage and strength. It was my fault, Abraham. We would have lost the flock if you hadn't chased jackals away. God gave me the courage. God? Which God, Abraham? There's only one God. God who made all the things that people worship. Sun, moon. I wonder if Nahar knows what Abraham is teaching. And that will stop us there for tonight. Sleep. Boy. Okay. Alright, put this over here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here. Let's flip you here. Okay, let's flip you this way. Side. Go, baby. There you go, sweet boy. Okay. Hang on. And where did your remote go for your TV? Yeah. You'll be okay. All right, let's close this off for tonight.